Wow, how's everybody doing? That was so fast. It's kind of scary when everybody comes in really, really fast. Super glad to see you all. We have, as you're joining in, I would love for you to let me know where you are, where you're coming in from, why you're here on this call, and what it is you would like to learn about, to see if we can help you make some choices about whether this program is right for you. So while you're doing that, I'm going to introduce a couple of folks that are here with me. Delora DeVore is our program manager. She is the OG and was suffered through the very first beta course while I learned how to be a better teacher. Sandy Reynolds is with us. She is one of our graduate holistic pet health coach folks, and she is also one of our enrollment counselors. Rana Solomon, who is going to start the course actually in, I think, this month, right, Rana? She's been working with us for over a year at working with enrollments. And so many of you have talked to her, or if you've talked to Sandy already. If you haven't, hopefully you're going to want to talk to them after this call. And then the other Dr. Ruth Roberts is my right-hand woman, Hannah Manawat Rose Kobong. I said that backwards. I'm sorry, Hannah Rose Kobong Manawat. My brain is going a little sideways these days. She has been working with me for getting on towards 5 years anyway, maybe more. And then Beth Rinciar, another one of our graduates, amazing trainer, always in her car. So this is how we always get to see her on our coaching calls, but always full of interesting options and things to talk about. So great. Everybody's jumping in. Brenna, very nice to see you from Salt Lake City, Utah. Joanne is here from Dayton, Ohio. Martha, you are cool. So you're doing NTP. So Dolores and NTP. We have 3 other graduates of the NTP program. So welcome in. We also have several FDN grads as well. So this was an easy transition for them from human side to pets. And plus, it's easier to get the people to do stuff for pets than to do for themselves. And Lorraine, good to see you. I could hear you, but you're working on your sound, so that's cool. Santa Barbara. Amy from Massachusetts. Right on, left corporate job to start as an integrative health practitioner, and you are exactly right. You will be in the one medicine mindset, and I think that would be an amazing combo. Jamie's in Central Virginia, dog trainer and licensed vet tech, amazing. And if you did not know, this course is actually RACE approved for 40 CE credits. So if this ends up working for you, you'll get your CE credits for the next 2 years. Bea from San Antonio, right on. Well-being of your dogs, right on. This will do that, help you do that, and a lot more. Fran from the UK, right on, Fran. This is very good. This is more about learning how to be a holistic pet health coach, but I hope that you will hang out with us. We do have several coaches in the UK, and especially one, Paula, is a cat specialist, if you will, or that's her particular niche. So if this is not what you're looking for, happy to connect you with her. And actually, I will be in the UK the last week of April. Sherry from San Diego, super sensitive stomach, soy-based probiotic paste. Well, sometimes things work. So welcome in. Genevieve from San Clemente, California. Chantal from Vancouver. Chantal, welcome. We've got, I think, 5 coaches now in Canada and one other graduate in the Vancouver area. Nicole, who gave an amazing presentation to the rest of the graduate coaches about brewing your own probiotics at home, which was really, really cool. Summer Jackson, student advocating for the purpose. Cool. Summer, are you in veterinary school? Nope. Cool. Just learning. Good. Right on. Right on.
Summer's a current student, so she's here to
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't seen you on it. My apologies. So I haven't seen you on the coaching calls yet, but thank you much for, that's right, because you were on the last webinar a month ago. Right on. Okay. I was like, you look familiar, but cool. Welcome in. Glad to see you. Let's see. Lots and lots. So Raleigh, North Carolina, Lisa from Florida. Yes, it is so needed. Right on. Brenna's been practicing canine massage, red light therapy, homemade food, and general healing and dog. I mean, yeah, this would be a perfect fit for you. We have several canine massage therapists, including one of the other OG students, Michael Daly, who was a mentor. He actually worked with me in my last brick and mortar practice and went on to develop a canine massage therapy practice in the Charleston, South Carolina area. And Jessica from Salt Lake City, Utah area, feline behavior and training consultant with lots of certs and whole. That's awesome. This is so cool because cats are so underserved, right? They have very particular needs. And I think that the majority of what you see out there on the internet is based on dogs. Right on. Oh, cool. Oh, good. Brenda, so you already know Leah. That's awesome. All right. Well, cool. Welcome in. Glad you're here. Hopefully we can get you some information that will help you decide what you need to do moving forward. My goal is for this to be more conversational. And so if you've got a question, something like that, just pop it up there, stick your hand up, unmute yourself, and feel free to just ask away, because that's what this session is for, is to give you more information, let you hear a little bit about the program, and help you make some decisions. So for those of you that do not know me, I am Dr. Ruth Roberts. I am what's called a slow mad. Mary Jo, my wife, and I and Hayo have been traveling since 2018. Actually, Hayo joined us in 2020, and it's been life-changing. So it gave me the ability, getting out of brick and mortar practice, gave me the ability to start to slow down quite a few notches and start to enjoy life, enjoy the great outdoors, and work with people all across the country. And that was so eye-opening because there are so many amazing holistic veterinarians out there, but unless you are in their metropolitan area, it is almost impossible to get holistic care. And so doing those consults opened my eyes up from that. Right on. Sue, very welcome in from Doggy Mama's Kitchen. Sweet. So Hayo's now our traveling companion. She's been our trusted guide, and she has more frequent flyer miles on her card than probably most other dogs that I know. So we live right now in Montenegro, and if you know where that is, you get a gold star in geography. It is part of the former Yugoslavia. So if you look at Italy and go across the Adriatic, you'll see Croatia, Montenegro, Albania, and then Greece. So it's a tiny, tiny country the size of Connecticut, and with about 650,000 people. It's very beautiful. We're in Bar, which is on the Adriatic, and I'm looking at mountains. So it's pretty perfect for us. So I've been a veterinarian for 35 years, which is getting a little weird to say, but it's the deal. And I am certified in acupuncture, food therapy, Chinese herbal medicine, and I've studied functional medicine since 2012. I got sick in 2006, like a lot of healthcare practitioners. When we get sick, it really shifts our mind into what other options might be available. And so in that process of getting well, I had a functional medicine doc help me out, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I not doing this for pets? And so I started to figure out how to do it. I think at the time, Dr. Rob Silver was the only other veterinarian that I was aware of that actually was doing functional medicine. and he is a great friend and a great resource to our community as well. So I was doing just consults, one-to-one consults with clients after I sold my practice in Charleston, South Carolina, and we started traveling. And what I was finding, especially as the pandemic came on, was that access to veterinary care was hard at best. And if you wanted holistic care on top of that, it was almost impossible. And I've spent quite a bit of time talking about Rosie, who I'll speak about in just a moment, but she really was the impetus to form this program. So 2.5 years in, we have 105 graduates, and we've got another 100 and some odd students in process learning the program. And it's been an amazing journey and an amazing ride. And what we are seeing our graduate coaches do to help pet parents is nothing short of astonishing. So again, my goal for this call is to help you understand what this course can do for you, what's included in the course, and help you determine if this is the right next step for you in making a career shift. So just out of curiosity, how many of you are frustrated with the way veterinary care is being delivered right now? Right on. Are we unanimous? Right. And here's the deal. My colleagues that are doing conventional medicine are so overwhelmed and so frustrated, they cannot see straight. And so what we have not done in veterinary medicine is ever create a physician's assistant position or a patient educator position. And this was my intent with this program, to take the burden off the veterinarian and the veterinary technicians, by the way, who are even beat up harder than the vets, because they have to explain everything to the clients. And then when the client's like, but, and they're like, I'm sorry, this is what the doctor said. And, so we're putting our underpaid staff in a horrible position and expecting them to clean up the mess, and that's just not possible. So the deal is that if we can get a group of holistic pet health coaches and we're reaching that critical mass in the United States, in the UK, in Mexico, in Estonia, in France, in Belgium, I mean, we're truly becoming international at this point. This takes the burden off of veterinarians if they choose to work with coaches. And more importantly, it gives pet parents the opportunity to work with somebody that understands what the vet said, can help them understand what's going on with the labs, with the x-rays, and what might happen conventionally, and then give them the holistic options, give them the diet changes that they need to make, give them the supplements that are going to be most effective, so they're not out buying the 27 supplements and then wondering why nothing is happening. So that's a big part of what we hope to do with this. So this has been, like I said, it's been a crazy good ride. But what I would like you to do is listen to kind of what Sandy's experience has been. Sandy came to us after selling her insurance business. So if you've got, I'm gonna get you to speak a few words, Sandy, if you got a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, you cut out right when you were trying to tell me you were ready.
Of course.
Hi, everybody. I know when I talk to a lot of you when we're doing a call to see if the program is a good fit for you, so many people can relate with me where I was at. I was burned out, exhausted, and quite honestly, a little done with people. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all, because I do love people. I love to visit and talk with people. But the pandemic, I think, was kind of hard on a lot of different industries. And my passion has always been for animals and helping them in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a paid position or not. And I did not have any previous experience with animal care other than just my own experience growing up in a barn with horses and every animal you can imagine. But coming to Dr. Ruth's program really was an easy transition because, quite honestly, you're doing what's in your heart, right? You want to help them. And this just gives you the skills and the mindset and the business part of it to be able to do that. So one of the things that I like to talk to people about is that while shifting maybe into a different career or doing something different, it's a really good mindset for you. And it really emotionally gives you such a boost. And especially when you start helping them and their pet parents, and the gratitude that you get from people is just quite frankly heartwarming. Because I mean, I had a lot of happy customers before, but this is life changing because most of the time you're helping their pet that doesn't feel well. And you're giving them help that they could have gone to 5 different veterinarians for, and they just needed a diet change maybe. And it's as simple as that sometimes, sometimes not. But just with the knowledge that you have, you can make such a difference. And if you are looking to shift your career and do something more meaningful, there's no better way than to do that and help animals. And in the meantime, help your own animals. I mean, obviously that's usually how all of us coaches start, right? We come here because we have a passion to help someone that we love, and it just kind of blossoms from there.
Right on. And thank you much,
Yeah.
because we do have a number of people that have some health background. So either on the human side in health coaching, we have veterinarians that have enrolled, we have veterinary technicians that have enrolled, but it can be intimidating if you don't have any medical background, to think, oh, and so the majority of the people that have enrolled in the course are people that are in the pet industry, what I like to call the paraprofessionals, the groomers, the dog walkers, the dog trainers, the pet sitters. And so it's been amazing watching them gain confidence with the material and just take it from there. So what I'd like to do right now is show you what the course itself looks like. And we are hosting the course in a platform called Circle. And the reason is that it allows us not only to put the course up there, but also have this community that is completely private. There is a huge bunch of weirdness going on Facebook right now, which you're probably all in the middle of. But this is some of the information that just pops up on my feed when I log in. And so there's questions that coaches are asking me. There's information about some of our affiliate partners and all sorts of stuff in here. So we have a huge amount of information available. We have a large number of affiliates. I think we're in excess of 50 at this point. Delora, am I saying that about right? Between all of the,
Almost. Yeah. It's
yeah,
some great stuff, you guys. I get so
right on.
excited.
It is pretty awesome. And it's really cool because it's all from all sorts of stuff. One of the other things that we were able to pull off was getting graduates professional accounts with Fullscript. And if you don't know what Fullscript is, it is one of the largest, if not the largest, practitioner-based dispensaries in the United States for holistic practitioners. And so what that means is that they've recognized holistic pet health coaches as a profession and as a practitioner. So the cool thing is that pretty much any supplement company you can think of on the human side is in that platform, and you get a 35% discount off of the retail price, and then you can provide your clients with these supplements as well. So when we cruise around in here, there is this side panel that has all of the courses that are available, and there's the coaching certification program. So I'm going to pop over here so you can see what the modules look like in there. There's 14 modules with CE bonus on heart health. Each of the modules are, in terms of the organ function, are related to both functional medicine, a physiological understanding of what's going on, and then traditional Chinese veterinary medicine. And there are several business modules in here as well, because we want you to be able to do this as a business and give you the tools to get you started. And we've got a really amazing bonus to help facilitate that even further. So when we jump into the modules, there are several lessons within each of those. And in that each lesson will be a video. Some of them are 15 minutes, some of them are an hour, and then a download of the slides, a transcript, and then a downloadable audio. So if you're somebody that likes to learn with podcasts, we really pretty well got you covered in terms of learning styles. So video, audio, something to read through, the whole 9 yards. Each of the modules requires a set of homework. And the homework is either written or more often of recorded video. And this is one of the more excruciating things for almost everyone to do. But the deal is that this is the way we communicate now, right? On Zoom, on video calls. And so what we want for you is that you are confident and competent when you start talking to people and you're able to think on your feet and present the information. There's a quiz for each of these as well, which is a multiple choice quiz. And at the end of the course, there is a final examination, which is to present 2 actual live coaching calls that you're doing with real pet parents. Now, when we get you through the program, and in that process, there's a couple of other things that are happening. One is you have this amazing community. You have other coaches to talk to get ideas from. You also have your mentor. And we have 4 amazing people right now that Dolores, the chief cat wrangler of. Michael Daly is who I mentioned earlier, who worked with me in my last brick and mortar practice, canine massage therapist. Deb Tubert, who has a real affinity for traditional Chinese medicine and herbals. She has been doing this on her own for decades and then decided to take the certification program about 2 years ago. She's a font of knowledge. Jessica Fisher is a podcaster and as well as a health coach. She has a podcast called The Pet Parenting Reset. Many of you may know that one if you're following holistic medicine, amazing resource. And then Natalie Lampus also came into this from a different perspective, but is so devoted and so well organized and clear in helping people understand what's going on. She just became an amazing mentor. And then you've got me. I do coaching calls every Monday. We have graduates and students on the first coaching call, which is at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. And that's been a great mix because that way you can hear what the grads are dealing with, how they're approaching cases, and start to learn how to do that. Plus, we answer any questions that you've got at the moment. And then we have another call later in the day, and then a last call for graduates only. Now, I keep talking about our grads, and the reason I do that is that we don't just drop you off once you've completed the program. We mailed you your certificate and said, good job. We have something called the International Holistic Pet Health Coach Association. And that is a postgraduate association. Part of that is going to get you all the goodies in terms of what you're able to access. As I said, we've got the Fullscript account, boatloads of affiliate programs. Herbsmith, Dr. Chris Besant has been one of our earliest supporters, and she has you practitioner accounts for Chinese herbal formulas. We've got just an amazing group of people in here. And we have business building call every week. Again, ongoing coaching calls with me and an incredible community. So there's so much more. We have a live event every year. This September, it is going to be in Kansas City because nobody gives the Midwest any love. And so we've also got our amazing standard process rep that lives out there. Now, we also have a free pet parent community here. So we've got about 2,400 members here, and they come in to ask questions. This is an opportunity for people to start interacting with pet parents, help them out a little bit, help them understand how they need to phrase all of their answers. And we've got a number of the new coaches that have joined in here, and I love that pup. And so, this has been an amazing resource for pet parents. The other thing we have is a scary, scary thing, a 57,000 person holistic pet health group on Facebook. And the purpose of this group is to promote our graduate holistic pet health coaches and help them help pet parents. And so what they're doing is folks that want to join the group are able to post questions, and then the coaches go in and support them with answers. And we are very specific in terms of once a coach starts working with a pet parent, we don't let everybody pile on and throw on information that may or may not be super useful. So the course itself has been amazing, but what we're able to offer at postgraduate has been crazy, crazy good too. So that's a lot of talking. Is your brain ready to explode? Mine is. So I think Sarah's still with us. So Sarah actually is in the UK and joined us last month. Sarah, do you feel confident and ready to say a couple of words about what your experience has been so far? That would be amazing.
Sure. Hello, everybody. I just love the fact that I'm doing this course. It's so exciting, and everything that Dr. Ruth has already said is very true. Even if you're not sort of business minded, then you're sort of guided through the course. You don't need to be in the veterinary industry. Like Dr. Ruth said, you can be, somebody who's a pet parent or someone who's already got a pet business. Myself, I'm a vet nurse, so I'm really excited to sort of lead the way in the veterinary industry. I think that you're not going to find another course like this. It's definitely worth all the money and more that you'll be spending to join up. And I think it's really, really, good to sort of just be involved in such an amazing community. And I'm just extremely grateful that I found the course and I'm starting it. So thank you very much.
It is my pleasure. And I wanted to give a special shout out to you because you've been looking at this for several months and finally made the plunge last month. So thank you for the confidence and jumping in.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, with pleasure, with pleasure. The other thing I wanted to point out, so Pam Nixon is joining with us today from Ayush Herbs, and they are also partners of ours. So this is the thing, is that we are trying to partner with everyone in the industry that's going to give you the ability to go down different pathways of supporting pets. And thanks, Pam, for joining. Glad to see you. So let's see, where else are we? One of the things let me kind of give you a little bit about what's involved in terms of the cost of the course and that kind of stuff. And because that's always the hard part, right? And it's getting a little weird out there right now, isn't it? In terms of stuff is changing. So we have this amazing group of women and men that are already active as holistic pet health coaches, and they've been through the program. But what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today is something that's going to make it even easier to get your business launched. And do many of you know Dr. Linda Loudon, the Canine Experts program? Dr. Loudon is an emergency veterinarian and actually retired from emergency practice, ran a very huge emergency clinic, and started her online business with the Dog Moms group. And so she learned how to do all the marketing and all the stuff and all the things. And what she's done is chunk it down into a 10-week course that will take you step by step through that roadmap of how to create a business. So that includes, selecting a niche, selecting brand colors, figuring out who your avatar or your ideal customer is, and as well as email series and all of the stuff that is just too daunting to think about in one chunk, in one sitting. And so this is the perfect next step for graduates, because even though I'm covering a lot of it in the modules that are in the course, it's very fast and rapid fire. And this is a way to take a deep breath and take bites of the elephant so that it becomes more digestible. The course itself is $6,000. If you pay in full, it's automatically $1,000 off. As fast action bonuses today, if you make a deposit before midnight Pacific tonight, we will include Dr. Loudon's course, which is a $500 value, plus a 6 months of access to the International Holistic Pet Health Coach Association. And that's also a $600 value. Now, one of the things I haven't mentioned about this is that we've got a couple of really amazing things coming up. One is already in place, and that's an e-com store through Shop Dot. They have many popular pet brands already involved in their store. The other thing we're working on is building out a business in a box in a piece of software called Go High Level. That is included in your International Holistic Pet Health Coach Association membership. And what that is a templated website, a landing page. So when you're doing offers online, like, hey, if you want to find out if working with me is the right next step, kind of like you did when you joined this call, then, drop your email and your phone number and schedule a discovery call with me. That templated landing page will be set up for you. There will be email flows to back that up, like, hey, so glad to know you. Here's some information about what we're doing, templated SMS flows, and a templated membership area. And I think this is important. What will be built into the membership area is basics on the original Crock-Pot diet. So you have some place to send your clients to when they're like, how do I do that again? You'll have some cooking videos, which are from my course, but you're welcome to replace them with your own stuff. But this will get you the opportunity to set up your own membership area. So you've got something special to offer your clients, and eventually you can create a community like I've shown you here in Circle. So the other cool thing is that we have a couple of options in terms of payments. One is the pay in full, obviously. We also offer a 4-pay plan, and then we've partnered with My Abundant to provide flexible payment plans. If you want to pay this over 12 months, it's $270 every 2 weeks. So that makes it a little bit easier on the pocket, so to speak. These are guaranteed financing, meaning they will do a soft pull on your credit, but barring some technical disaster, they've approved every one of our students so far. So that's kind of, and I think, Sari, that helped you kind of make the decision to move forward too, which has been amazing. Right on. So that's our stuff here. I think, Rana, if you can, right on. If you can, right on, thank you. You didn't even have to get the whole sentence out. This is how on the spot she is. So I want you to, if you're ready to do this, then reserve your spot. And so click that link that Rana's dropped there. The other thing is, if you need to talk about this a little bit more and go through your options, if we could put the book a call slot in link in there as well, you can talk with Rana and Sandy, and they can help you work through whatever other questions are present. So that's also a lot. And Beth, I don't know if are you where you can speak? Are you? Or are you still driving?
I'm always driving. Can you hear me?
We got you.
Okay. Hello. I don't even know what to say. I was trying to think as I'm walking, what I want to grab onto this time, because my story of why I became a coach is kind of the same as everyone else's. I was a trainer doing this. I started working with behavioral dogs and finding that food was the better option. But more so, I think what I want people to know is it's just, I really love the community here, and I have 2 science experiments of a dog, and I think I spend more time talking about them on the Monday calls than any of my clients. So it's just, and anytime I have a problem, there's a coach available that I can reach out to, whether it's whether I can get Dr. Ruth on the Monday call, or I can reach out to Natalie and be like, hey.
And she had a dead zone, poor Beth. But that is what she's talking about is the truth. It's been amazing to watch this community develop and to thrive. And what we're seeing is that there's a lot of coaches that will collaborate together. They'll do Facebook Lives together. They'll do business partnerships together so that they can serve particular clients. We have coaches that are animal communicators, Reiki masters, all sorts of crazy specialties. So it's just been amazing to watch. So let's see. So Summer, if you wouldn't mind, you were kind enough to join. I know you joined us, I think last month. Am I remembering that correctly, or the month before?
Yeah, in February.
Right on. So how's your experience been so far?
I'm loving it. I had a slow start. I'm still trying to get into the whole waking up early in the morning and starting my book work and all that stuff, and the courses. But I love it. The community's great. The mentors are awesome. I have Natalie, and she's just awesome. I have learned a lot. I'm just in ending module 3, but I had to go back and do 2. But it's a lot of information, but it is so rewarding. My Chihuahua, just with changing her diet, all 3 of my dogs' diets, I have seen a phenomenal difference in their behavior, in their skin, their hair, everything. And my husband's rooting me on. He's been a very big supporter, and my animals, of course, they're just happy. My 15-year-old is acting like she's 2 again. She's toothless and she runs around with bones, and she really thinks she's going to do some damage, but it's just been wonderful, and I have you today. Thank for that. I really do appreciate you.
And it is my pleasure, truly. This program has been the honor of my career, and I finally feel like I am paying this forward.
Yeah.
It has just, because I love veterinary medicine. I loved my last practice. It was the first integrative practice in the Charleston, South Carolina area. But this allows me to take my knowledge and give it to other people so that so many more people can benefit from it.
Yes.
And the deal is I know that I don't have all the answers. And so we try to bring others that have other answers into the program.
Right.
I am not exclusionary. We want everyone that has a valid way to approach solving problems to get a voice and to help educate you on other options. So that is what's been driving me. There's one quote I'm going to leave you with, and I say this quote every time because I think it is so critical, and that is what Gandhi actually said. He didn't say, be the change you want to see in the world. What he said is, we but mirror the world. all the tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of our body. If we could change ourselves, then the tendencies of the world would also change. As a person changes their own nature, so does the attitude of the world towards them. And I think that is so profound. It may feel painfully slow to start with, but we can make a massive impact on how pet parents are receiving information about how they are able to take back control over the choices that they make for their pets, that they can be better educated when they go to the veterinary office so that they know exactly what to ask the veterinarian and how to have an intelligent conversation so that the veterinarian can get the information out as fast as possible and the pet parent gets the information that they need and is able to get done for their pets what needs to get done. So that's what I'm going to say. And Martha, if you're lurking, jump in. So, all right, so I'm going to open this up for questions. If you want to ask them, unmute. And Martha, your question is really timely. There is a time limit for the coursework. We have a 4-month program where you get an extra month, so 5 months total, to turn in all of your homework and your courses. And we also have a 12-month program because life is a little overwhelming sometimes. And so we do stick to that very tightly, because if you go on much further, you start to lose things. And we want you to get this down, get it in your minds, and be able to get the information out there. So what else? What other questions can I answer for y'all?
I have another in
Sure.
regard to, so, all right, if I were to do the 12-month program, is there a lockstep time for each module and so forth?
Right on. So in the 12-month program, we drip a module every 3 weeks. And here's one other change that we've had to make, and that is we've divided the course into 4 parts. And what we're requiring is that in order to get through from part 1 to part 2, you have to turn in all your homework for part 1. And it's because everybody's like, oh, I just want to get to the next info. But it's so important that if you don't have the information in that first part down, it makes the rest of it harder. And likewise, each module builds on the information that's been in previous modules. So that's the only sort of limitation, but we do drip the info every 3 weeks. You would have a meeting with your mentor once a month, and then the coaching calls once a month as well. Does that help?
Yes. One more question.
Mhm.
So I see there's a couple of other nutritional therapy oriented folks here, and I'm curious to know of those who have done your training or are in the process, how well does this overlay what we've learned through I've done now a Nutritional Therapy Association, Restorative Wellness Solutions, and I'm in the middle with Dr. Rita Marie Lascalzo's nutritional endocrinology training.
Wow.
And so is it gonna twist my brain to shift gears, or do they overlay nicely?
Laura, I'll let you answer that question since you're
I
coming
unmuted
from the same
myself
background. All right, good.
in anticipation. So Martha, I really enjoyed Dr. Ruth's content even more than I enjoyed the NTA's content. It's divided kind of the same way about body systems and how you learn about the functional approach, you learn about the conventional approach, but the cool thing is you also learn about traditional Chinese veterinary medicine in that. And that's going to just blow your mind and open up a whole new world of approach for your clients as well as your pet. So I got involved because I didn't understand, and my pet was having some problems and I knew what to do for a person, But so I reached out to Dr. Ruth, got a consultation, and come to find out it's no different. Very, very few differences. And what we found out is so incredible is that our pets are so empathic that they reflect whatever we have going on in our own lives. So I've had a few pet clients that, this one had really bad digestive issues, and we kept working together, working together, working together. And at some point, I just stopped and said, "Tell me about your digestion." And the lady's mouth just dropped. And so we had a whole conversation on what's going on with her is also going on with her pet. So I can't tell you how perfectly it fits.
I can also relate to that. I'm a mother of 5, and I had adopted 2 dogs who were born wild, and while pregnant with my twins, my first 2, and so the one that stayed with me for the long haul, anytime I got pregnant again, she was following right on my heels from the minute I conceived, and I started noticing. I said, "Do you know something I don't know?"
I love
Yeah.
that story.
That's sweet. Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, you were training at such a high level that the functional medicine stuff is going to be very easy for you. What's going to be different is the TCVM, the traditional Chinese veterinary medicine. And that may make you bang your head against the wall just a little bit, because it is a completely different system of medicine. And while the interesting thing is that the basic concepts overlay the functional medicine functional medicine sort of framework, but there's a lot of different words, and it can be very poetic. So really fun.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yes.
Do you overlay some muscle testing, like surrogate muscle testing, or any of that with your work?
That is something that I'm not very well skilled at, but I do talk about using very basic versions of it in terms of like sway testing and that sort of stuff. But for instance, Deb Tubert, one of our mentors, she is a dowser and is really expert at it. So the concepts that you have for muscle testing apply to pets, and you just use if you're working remotely, it doesn't matter. You just do it using yourself as the surrogate. And then if you're working with a client in person, then most of the time folks will use the pet parent as the surrogate.
And that goes right back to what Laura was saying about the parent having their own health issues, that masks or at least mimics what the pet is doing. But yeah, if that's going to be a trick to confirm the parent first, the surrogate first.
Yes, that it does get interesting. And that's the thing. I mean, I talk a lot about pets being our mirrors and buffering things for us. And so that's the really cool thing, is that when you have that conversation with the pet parent, like Delora did, they're like, oh, and they get it. And they're understanding that the pet is doing something energetically to support them. Cool. Sid, thank you. Yeah. And please, Berna, if you've got a question, go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hey, do we get to keep the course to refer back to the modules? Oh, okay, good.
Yes. Yeah. So what we do is once you complete the course, we put you in what's called an access only course. And the reason is that as we add information, it would reset your progress in the course. And that's been a frustration point. So you will have access to everything plus any new additions that go into the course for as long as I live.
Thank you.
Or until the internet burns down. You're welcome. Right on. Yeah, Sid, that's great. And it is our pleasure to create this opportunity. And that's exactly it, right? Most of us have come into this holistic pathway because we had a problem no one was able to help us solve. And so we had to do the research on our own. And that's part of my goal, is to provide you the information that will get you 80% of the results that I can, just by following simple steps. We like to think that things are complex, but often they're not. Even the dogs with the problem lists that are 12 pages long. Cool. Lori, if you wouldn't mind saying a couple of words, if you feel compelled to do that. Lori's another one of our students who's been showing up for those coaching calls.
Sure. It's been an amazing experience. Can you guys hear me? We're good?
We got you.
It's been an amazing experience. I was one of the students that signed up, and my life got in the way. I started launching a business, and it launched much quicker than I thought. My business is canine services and obedience training. But one thing, and everybody, Dr. Ruth and Laura, everybody there has been super helpful and super supportive. In the process, I have definitely used the food. You know, Dr. Ruth has 3 components to always look at when you have a pet. Nutrition is the first, inflammation and detoxification. And nutrition, I live that world and have used functional food and functional medicine, food as medicine in my own life. Had a dog that lost all of his hair, and I moved to California from New York City and couldn't figure it out. Switched him over to, before meeting Dr. Ruth, to some Whole Foods, but then went completely into the original crock pet diet. And you wouldn't believe, my dog's 12. I have a lab that everybody asks is a puppy, and he's almost 5. My dogs are just thriving. And then just to fast forward it to one of my clients, who, as we were just speaking about, they are a mirror of us. The pet parent is rather anxious, and I have a 100-pound Belgian Malinois, which is an anomaly. But he is very anxious, and I was trying to train him, and it made it really difficult. So then through the course, I've learned different things, of which we immediately changed his food. From day one, everybody, this dog has had diarrhea since 8 weeks. Came to me, and finally now, honestly, I've been working with him for probably about, with natural food, with Whole Foods. I finally got her on it probably 6 weeks, and yesterday he had his first normal poop. But she also too is a pet parent who says, okay, well, I ran out of Whole Foods, so I had kibble. And I just said to her, no, we can't do that. But she understood, she got it. And I just said, I'd rather you just send him to me and I'll feed him, because I'll always have food. Why I'm bringing this up is I've seen it firsthand, change a dog going from highly anxious, doing circles around me, to now being calm. And it's all because of what I've learned in this course. And I am so excited to just continue to learn. TCVM is incredible. It's a whole new science, a whole new language. But all of these things work, and it's great that we can incorporate it into our own lives as well. So I feel incredibly grateful to be a part of this community.
Wow, that, because I remember you talking about this dog, and it was like literally the conversation we had is it was a shit show.
Yeah.
And now the shit show's over. Woo!
We're getting there.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I love those successes. Anybody else got some questions we can help you with? Amazing. Beth, are you in a transit zone where your signal's good? We can see somebody's chin.
Hold on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
We got you.
Okay, I'm going to pull over.
That's
so
a good
hopefully I don't
choice.
drop the call again. And I'll be quick. Basically, that's Ty, that if everybody was watching my dog, that's one of my many science experiments. But what I wanted to say was, I know in this community, we're all kind of odd man out in a lot of places, because, you know, people are all conventional. They do the conventional thing. We have the conventional vets. We have the conventional trainers. And I know I've spent most of my career feeling like odd man out. And it's been just it's just so nice to be able to, especially when I'm having a day where I'm dealing with a lot of shocking trainers and things like that, and conventional vets that are throwing antibiotics at things that can be easily fixed with food. It's nice to have the community to come back to and to just kind of regroup and realize that what we're doing works and it matters, and it's a better way, and that if we all, and the bigger the community gets, the more we can get the message out, and that's important. And I think it's going to be important further down the line. So, and I love, Dr. Ruth is just amazing. So you can't go wrong with learning from all of her knowledge.
Thank you. And Beth was kind enough to teach an incredibly fast-paced nose to tail exam at our event in Chicago last year in September to pet parents. And it was like, holy smokes, this woman can get the info out in a hurry. So
I like to talk fast. Get it out and get
and you're
moving.
good at it. Yeah, cool. Y'all, that's what I got for you tonight. We would love to see you on board. And Martha, Rana, can you get her the deposit code? And that's very exciting, Martha. Sounds like you're going to join us this month, and it was just delightful. So that's what I got for you. We want to see you in the program. We want to make this work for you. There is the low monthly payment option available through My Abundant. And again, that is guaranteed financing. But we want to get you in here and get you moving forward into making a difference. Because all of you know that there is a different way. We need our veterinarians, but they need help. And it's just so critical that we get these simple lifestyle options in front of pet parents, make those changes first, and then dive deeper on what else needs to change. Thanks. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you soon on coaching calls, and I look forward to meeting you. Thanks much. Ciao.